Thank you for joining me on my presentation this afternoon. I do hope you had a great lunch. I certainly had. I can tell you, running the Caribbean is the best place to have great lunches. On the beach, barefoot, flip-flops, they're really great. To start our presentation is basically the last work of Harry Vercauteren. He mentioned humanity, and I'm going to focus on the human element of HR. We talk a lot about different elements. We talk about technology. We talk about digitalization. I'm old school. I'm not a millennial. I think you can see that from me. But basically, I do embrace the new way of working, but I really do feel that we should not forget about the humans. Asking questions is one of the big elements to get to know each other. In November 2014, I was flying to Amsterdam back from Manchester, and next to me was sitting a young lady, and she was a bit nervous. So my initial question was, why are you nervous? So she explained that she had a connected flight to Detroit. We had a delay, so she was a little bit afraid of missing the connecting flight. So we started to have a conversation. She asked me questions, I asked her questions. And basically, it was a very promising discussion we had. She was a talented person. She was 26, had already lived for 2 years in Moscow. She was a sworn entrepreneur in Spanish, Russian, Russian, Spanish, French, Russian, Russian, French, which is for a young lady, very impressive. And she was educated in a school in London in order to get her law degree financed. The only thing she was complaining about the fact that her salary was quite low. I did know that our compliance department in London was looking for talented people. So without telling her, we connected on LinkedIn, and without telling her, I checked if there were some vacancies, and there were vacancies within the compliance team. And especially because I was the commercial director for Central and Eastern Europe, but also connected to the part of the world I was working in at that moment. This is something which can never be replaced by technology. Human interaction is the key of developing companies. And I think you are the heart of that company, being the HR people. So, this is something I think you should live every day. How can a question be a starting point? How can you as HR help developing a culture in a company that asking questions is great, that you don't have the feeling, ooh, I should not ask it. How many times have you been in meetings or in conference calls that subjects were being discussed and that you thought, hey, they're using words I don't know, and you did not ask them? It's a missed opportunity. It's really basic this, but you need to do it. Ask the question, what do you mean? Because in the team there'll be other people who also do not understand the word or the sentence. And listen also very carefully. Yesterday there was a question from the audience to somebody at the panel, and the question was very clear, but the answer was not the answer on the question. And at that moment you should basically say, listen, I asked you a different question, please give me the right answer. These are three elements which I think are important. The greatness of a question. How great is a question? A young child starts questioning everything. We stop doing that. And one thing I learned in my career is that you make a career not only by adapting new things, but also by asking questions, because then you learn every day again and again and again. It creates a great conversation. And a conversation is basically getting a broader view on things. And it also gives you sometimes different perspectives. Yeah? How great is it to share thoughts, to share impressions, and to share learnings? Human beings are there to help each other and to educate each other. So for me, three very important elements. Very basic elements in this are avoid assumptions. I can tell you, and I had a very, very thorough coach training 5 years ago. I will become 60, so I was 55 when I got that. And one of the reasons why I got that training was the fact that I was commercial director in Central and Eastern Europe. I flew into countries, talked to the commercial people, we discussed things, we set goals and objectives, and in the years I got the feeling that the impact of me showing up in the offices became less. And when I came back, I realized that not everybody was doing. the things they were doing or I thought they were doing. Yeah? So my assumption was that they were actually doing what I asked them. And that assumption was completely different. So in that case, I had to learn to listen very actively. And they can be right, other people, because you also have to deal with different cultures. Yeah. When you work in Bulgaria, it's completely different than Russia. I learned it also in the Dutch Caribbean. Leading a Dutch Caribbean team is so different than managing in the Netherlands. Dutch people are direct. We accept that we are being challenged as a boss. No problem at all. So that's how I stepped in the Dutch Caribbean. In the Dutch Caribbean, there's more work ethics that you need to be told what you do. You do not question your boss, at least not directly. Indirectly it happens, but it's happening at the same. Yeah? And again, very important, smile and you receive a smile. That can be in the office, that can be the lady who is at the reception, that can be the steward or the stewardess in the plane, that can be the barista in the coffee shop. When people smile to you, you get a smile back. And I think that's really, really important. That are human factors which you need to take into account in your daily work. Be open-minded. Don't be previous. I've written a book, a small book, it's in Dutch, it's now being translated in English, and it's all about perceptions. Sometimes you step in a plane, somebody is walking towards you, the seat next to you is free, and you think, oh, I don't hope that he or she is sitting next to me. But then he or she is sitting next to you, you have a conversation, and you will be amazed what a lot of information you get from the different person, how he inspires you. That is really something I've learned. So withhold into judgment. Create a connection. Look at people. Look them in the eyes. Make sure that they really feel that you are connected. Show interest. Yeah? And it's the verbal but also the non-verbal communication. If you ask a question and you look away like this, people feel that you don't mean it. So it needs to be genuine. Seek to discover. Use questions and explore. Don't stop with one question. Keep on repeating questions and go deeper. Really go deeper. And somebody asking, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. And then, okay, that's how we normally interact. But is the person really fine? Or is there something going on? And if you speak to your employees, I think that is a key, that don't take a yes or no for granted. Try to explore. And of course, give people the possibility to speak. Take a silence. Very difficult, also for me to be honest, but really try to wait a second. Another very important thing is to verify and understand. Paraphrase to show understanding. Repeat, did I understand you well? Is this what you mean? Is that what you want to tell me? Do that, because then you get a reaction back and people will actually give a better understanding about what they want to tell to you. And be sincere. Demonstrate sincerity. Yeah. We are human beings, so when somebody is sad, he wants to have an arm around his shoulder. If somebody has a bad experience, he wants to be understood, or you're going to listen it. So I think that's really important elements, and I call it elements, but basically are things we need to embrace. The question is, why should we be doing this? Looking at the pace of technology. In 1994, and that's 25 years back, I got my first mobile phone, and it was like this. So you're wearing a suitcase with a phone. If you see what's happening in those 25 years, that's incredible. There is the iPhones replacing a lot of stuff. Yeah? In that, humanity is a very, very important element. You, as HR, need to embrace the employee experience. I have my own thoughts about engagement, because for me, and I need to be careful, but that's my opinion, engagement is already a little bit old school. Why do I think engagement is old school? At least the questionnaires and the way how it's being developed, because you have 5 or 6 questions which are really relevant to get a high score on the engagement. And how many managers do have in their goals and objectives, you need to have a score of, let's say, 70. Once they notice that there are few questions you need to answer, they try to manipulate a little bit the employees. Yeah? And that doesn't give the right to an engagement study. We have millennials, we talk about the Z generation, the Y generation. We put people in segments, in boxes. Yeah? But I'm Joep, and I want to be seen as Joep. I don't want to be put in a box when I go into a, let's say, supermarket. Yeah? Oh, so he's grey, he must be around 60, so this is what he's going to buy. Yeah? I don't want to have that, because maybe I'm going to buy diapers for my daughter who takes birth to a granddaughter. That's something different. So, it cannot be put in boxes. We need to embrace the employee experience. Another thing which is really important, make sure, from an HR point of view, that you do understand the goals and objectives of a company, how you should succeed as a company. Let me give you a very specific example. I'm an insurance broker. Insurance broker people are basically opportunistic, commercial, and they always try to find a solution for a certain challenge. If you are a HR manager who has been worked the whole life in a kind of IT company or in a technical company, where things are more black and white, and you don't feel what the culture of the broker is, it is very difficult to understand and to adapt to the goals and objectives of the company. Yeah? So really try to understand by asking what the goals and objectives are. How is the company succeeding? Yeah? And of course you need to be ready for the new workforce. But I hear too many times, millennials. But we have people from 40 onwards, and I would say till 70, 75, because pensions are becoming less. So we all need to work longer and faster and harder, even when you're 50 or 55. How does it feel when you're being ignored? An example, I was made redundant in 2017, it was in Aeon, and I had garden leave for 1 year from 2016 to 2017. Great time because you have the possibility to explore what you want to do. The first thing I did, I applied for some jobs. We didn't get any reaction, nobody wanted to talk to you, and I was not alone because I was with friends in the same boat, you cannot find a job. So you need to step up. Why do I tell you this? They hired me back now on a temporary basis during the Dutch Caribbean, which is really a blessing, so I don't have any complaints about the company I'm working for because I've always treated me nicely. But if you don't focus also on the 40 plus the 50, 60 years old people who do have to do a lot of work in your company, you will fail. So yes, embrace the technology, but look also at the old workforce and old between brackets. And you need to make sure that HR is the soul of the company. Make sure that HR is being trusted, that you're a trusted part of the company. Without that, it is really difficult to succeed. Yeah? We have different cultures, but make sure that you're not only the voice of your boss. Make sure that you really listen to the employees. Generally, listen, and try to translate it in the goals and objectives of the company, and try to adapt to the character and the mentality of the boss in order to make it work. It's not easy, but I think if you can do that, you will make a big step forwards. Last but not least, we talk about Z generation, Y generation, millennials. What I would say is be the Q generation. Ask questions. Every day, ask questions. If you can do that, you will be less irritated, and I will give you a last example in this respect. A few years I was in Paris. I stepped into a cab, and with a colleague, and we asked the cab driver to bring us to the hotel, which was in a different part of Paris. And the guy looked a little bit puzzled at us, and actually we felt that he didn't know where to go to. So the first reaction is that you get irritated, although I got irritated. Of course, I'm stepping in a taxi, I don't know where to go to, so you bring me. But the way he was behaving felt a little bit, empathical. So we started asking him questions, and at the end it appeared that the guy was from Ghana, he was a lawyer, he moved with his family into Paris, and moved in the day before, and the only thing he could do at that moment was ride in a cab. So our behavior to him was completely different than we would have done when we won't have asked the questions. So at the end we told him how to go to the place, but it was a good experience in be genuine, be open to people, ask questions. So that is all I wanted to tell you. But be the Q generation and do not forget to embrace the elderly people who have to work longer because they don't have any pensions. Don't forget about that. That is the last remark I wanted to make. So thank you for your attention.